So how did this come about? How did your collecting begin?
I don't know. I like the color orange, and then my parents got me the Tony Stewart Home Depot cars and all that stuff, and it was like I was indoctrinated by my parents to like NASCAR. I don't know. I don't know. But every little kid has the little race cars, and it's, or gets the video games. The parents will go to the Walmart and they'll be like, "What can I get the kid to play on a PlayStation 2 that's not violent like GTA?" The NASCAR games are always the best choice. So that's how I started. I didn't like NASCAR because I didn't get where I'm at because I liked watching the races. It's just because I played with the toys and then the video games, and then one day I gained consciousness and I'm like, oh, maybe I should like watch this stuff because my life is dedicated to it. But yeah, that's kind of how the whole collection started, and whatever else. So
I've never been here before, but this is a big facility. So, do you know some about the history of this place?
it's an old brick mill. At least that's all. Or it's probably, I think it's a brick mill, and it might have been a textile mill too, or something like that. They got some old photos up front that I can show you, just of the old layout, and you can see from the sky and everything else. But that's mostly what I know. I mean, uh, yeah, it's just that's the one big factory. And it's funny, you drive around here, like all the houses around here are all the little, like, they're built on top of each other, all the old worker homes or whatever from back in the day. But yeah, I think it was a brick mill, and it's just one of those big old factories that I can't remember. I don't know the guy's name who owns the mill, but he owns the entire facility. So he owns this antique mall. He owns the Barcelona grill restaurant thing next door.
Yeah.
And then next door he has the pizza place, which
Huh.
and then he's got a few more things over in that area. There's actually a race shop behind this building back
Oh,
there that
really?
has a bunch of not NASCAR, it's I don't know, like Toyota Supras and a few other things. So they're gonna build a beer garden over there, and they got some warehouses that they do stuff at over there. It's just one big huge facility. They're running out of parking spots.
Huh. Yeah, when I first came in here, I was like, where do I park exactly? I was kind of trying to figure out everything, but yeah, this is a great looking place, and there's a lot of antiques here. I've noticed there's some sports stuff as well for the sports fans out there. There's a lot of great sports memorabilia, and there's a lot of NASCAR stuff in here as well.
Yeah, so I mean, well, it's an antique mall, but I mean, I don't have real antiques unless you count the cars from like '89. But yeah, they got a little bit of everything. So there's specialized booths, which is what I am. There's me. There's the toy picker guy up front. There's a guy just a few booths down that has Star Wars action figures and Funko Pops, and a lot of craft booths and a few other, like things like that. There's a guy that's all dedicated to like beer advertisements and the or handles or whatever you call those.
Okay.
A lot of stuff like that. But you got those guys strategically placed all over, and then you got all the regular antique spots that are just oil cans or decorative nonsense. All the people that live on Lake Norman, they got to get all their fancy antique pieces to hang on the walls or the coffee table.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You have an Instagram page. You post a lot on there as well. Are you looking into doing any other social media or promotions for your booth?
I mean, I got the Instagram page, and then I got Twitter. Not that I even use it. I just kind of on there, just to have the presence. And then I'll go through my news and whatever. And I got Facebook. So I have Instagram for the younger crowd, and then Facebook's for the older crowd. So I'm able to reach both. And then I got a YouTube channel too, which eventually I'd like to start posting stuff on there. I got one video, but that's like a car related thing. So,
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna work on that. Well, I'm already doing a pretty good job on it, I think, but there's still ways to expand it. And yeah, every once in a while I do a giveaway. Well, I've only done it a few times, but on my Instagram page, just to be like, I don't even ask people to like tag their friends or anything. I just say like, hey, all my followers, do this, and I'll pick one of you to win. But I know other people like, oh, here's this thing, tag 3 friends.
You must be following this and that.
Yeah, all that nonsense. I mean, in which it works. I've seen people with like an ungodly amount of followers, and they don't really do anything, but they do the giveaway. It's like, whatever. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do the easy way. I'm gonna try to be like, hey, like those people who follow 1,000 people in hopes of like 10 of them or like 10% of them will follow them back.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, I can't do that. I want to be
either.
more genuine.
When did this booth? When was this created? And how long did it take to get everything set up?
Well, so I had a little 8x9 booth, which is the one right beside here. It's just a little tiny one,
Okay.
and I moved in there October 2018, and I just had NASCAR, my collection that I wanted to get rid of, not my cool cars or my cars I like, and I just put them in here, and I bought some shelving off Facebook Marketplace, and then I bought some pegboard from Walmart. The walls were already, or no, we built the walls too. We just built, some 9 by, or all this kind of stuff. And then me and my dad, and then, or he helped me, and then I just started putting stuff in there, and it's funny. I had these cars when I first started out. I had a ton of these. I collected these since when they came out. These Spin Master Authentics, yeah.
Okay.
And I put them in here for like $3, and then they sold like instantly. And I was like, well, there goes all that. So as I went on, I figured out, well, if I price this at this point, it really sells fast, and if I price it here, it doesn't sell at all. So I've been able to find the medium of everything. So like everything that I have it priced at right now is pretty much like the middle ground of, it's like the perfect price where I can buy or sell it and make some money, and somebody can buy it from me and then save some money. Because like everything in here, at least the 164s, probably besides these ones, these are like retail, but like everything else is, you'll probably get a better deal than you will on eBay. Because I mean, all these little cars, this car is going to cost you $5 on eBay to ship, or for a seller to ship, or a buyer to pay shipping. But so I mean, they'll probably sell it for $5, which is what I got this one at. But then the shipping will be another $5.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's, people can get a better deal on a few things, or gosh, these haulers are such a pain to ship because they're so long.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
It's all stuff like that. So I, going on like 5 years now, I've been able to figure out where to price stuff, and I've been able to expand. I cut that one off, I moved into this one. I cut the wall down, I moved into this one. I got that one over there, and then I just keep getting bigger and bigger. But I keep bringing in more and more stuff. So but yeah. I'll buy a collection. I'll buy 50 items. I'll sell like 10 of them, make my money back, and then the other 40 will sit here for however long, and I just keep getting more and more stuff, and I can break even or make a little, and then it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So I don't know. It's like a disease that kind of infects it. But it works out great. It's awesome. I want more stuff because I want the bigger, like, wow. Like somebody walks in like, wow, look at all this stuff. All the normies who walk by that don't really care, or like all the old grandmas who are buying their furniture or whatever, they'll look in, they'll be like, whoa, look at all the little matchboxes. They don't even call it Hot Wheels, they call it matchboxes. Like, I could get Hot Wheels, but
That's interesting. So you said your favorite era of NASCAR is the Era Wars. That's mine.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a live diecast of that as well. Do you have a particular driver that's your favorite, or?
I mean, my favorite driver from that era,
From any era.
Well, my favorite driver of all time. Well, I like Tony. Yeah, I like Tony Stewart growing up, and I've always liked Richard Petty. I've always been a big Mopar guy. Oh wait, I don't have that hat on, but I was wearing my big Mopar hat I got here from like a late '90s one that I got from the antique mall. I go for like $50 on eBay. I found one for 20. I couldn't believe it, but no, I'm a big Mopar guy. I love Dodge. I love all that stuff, and so Richard Petty being the greatest NASCAR driver of all time, the king, the whatever. The GOAT is such a throw-around term, but the king's always going to be the king no matter what. But 200 wins. I don't care about the competition. People like to trash Richard Petty's 200 wins because the competition wasn't that great.
It's weird.
Because well, Junior Johnson and Cale Yarborough and the Wood brothers and Holman Moody, they weren't that good. What?
Like, really? Like, what? I mean, there was a lot of talented drivers back then, and you think they were the equipment that they drove. Like, it's way different than now.
Yeah.
Obviously, technology has advanced, safety has advanced, which is really good. That the safety innovations that have been made. But for people to discredit how good he was, just because he was laps ahead of other people. I don't like. I don't get that theory, and I understand that some people are like maybe some of the teams weren't as well funded. Yes, it's true,
Yeah, sure.
but there was also a lot of independents. Nowadays, there's no independents. It's all drivers on contracts with teams, and I
Yep.
wish they could go back to allowing independent.
Yeah, I mean, it could still happen, but the most ridiculous thing is the charter system that they have.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't even allow independent teams like Beard Motorsports, the '62 car. Like they're gonna, if they went to Daytona and they won the race, they wouldn't get the race winnings. They wouldn't. They only get a baseline of $20,000. That's what. At least I
ridiculous.
think that's what it is. All the non-charter teams. So they all have to rely on whoever, money out of their pocket or sponsorship money they get. So yeah, it's kind of a. Oh, I mean, people are always like, well, I'd like to go back to the '70s when the cars are real and this stuff. Oh, well, you would like them the leader to lap the field 11 times if they're in a real car that you could buy off the street and they took the interior out and put a roll cage. Yeah, hell yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. I want to see real Dodge Challengers and Mustangs or whatever going at it. That would be so cool. I mean, pack all the safety stuff you can in there. I know it can happen, but not that we even have real stock cars anymore. Now we got this next gen car, which is a whole nother thing. But I don't even know where we were at. What was the topic?
If we were talking about Richard Petty.
Oh yeah, who's your favorite driver? I like Tony Stewart. His car was orange. I like Richard Petty, Mopar guy, whatever else. And I mean, Richard Petty's the coolest guy on the planet. I mean, I've met him so many times, and he's just, the cool thing about Richard Petty, and why he's the king or the greatest of all time or whatever this, is that from birth, he's been at the racetrack with Lee, his dad, and to right now when he's like 85, 6 or whatever. He's at the track every week. He's climbing the hauler ladder to get on the roof to watch the race. He doesn't even really have a dog in the fight anymore. He's got the 43, but he barely even has an ownership stake in it. But he's just there all the time, meeting all the fans, this and that. Oh, it's just so cool.
And the Allisons, they do a lot of autograph signings still.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I see Bobby Allison like almost every year. He's at events. Donnie Allison was there at Darlington, and they had the 75 greatest drivers. So I think 30 of the 75 were there. But it was really cool on Sunday to see a lot of the drivers again, and obviously the cars on the track, the stock cars, the stock car classics, and HSR. I mean, it was really cool to be a part of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I went for the truck race. I didn't stake for Xfinity and Cup, but yeah, I saw the videos of all the cool all the old cars running on the racetrack, and yeah, Bobby Allison. I mean, every time. He's getting a little older now, so he's using the crawler. But every other time I go to the post office, I see him right there. He gets out of his car, he drops something off, and heads back. He's like, "Oh, hey, there's Bobby Allison. Hey, that's great." But yeah, him and Donnie, yeah, they still sign stuff, and they're one of the more involved. The Allisons are a little bit more involved than some other drivers who.
Mm-hmm.
But they all came out. The greatest thing about when we were born is that, when did you start watching NASCAR?
I started watching around 2004 because I was born in 2000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was born in '98, and I started watching around that same time. And people say the '90s is the greatest era. I think the 2000s is the greatest era because we had the most we had the most viewership. We were going to all the racetracks, all the stands were full, all the cars were bright and colorful. We had a lot of cast of characters. We had the old guys who were still fighting. We had the new guys who were coming in. And we had all the old guys, all the Richard Petty and Cale Yarborough and David Pearson. They were still all alive and kicking, and they were at races, and they were able to tell stories. It's just the best time. And now, David Pearson, he passed away. Junior Johnson passed away. Cale Yarborough, he's getting older, and then the Bobby and Donnie Allison, and I mean Richard Petty, he's still kicking. He can still run at this point. But Bubba, when he finished second at Daytona in 2018, and everyone's crashing everything, and Richard's like running down pit road. He's trying to find his car because everyone's all excited because he just finished second because that team was really tanking at the time. So it's just cool. It's cool stuff. I love Richard, and I love all the old guys, and I think we just got out of the golden era, and now we're in this era, which I don't know what's happening, but I don't know where we're at. But
what do you think about? Well, you said like the 2000s was the best era. I definitely agree with you at some degree because I think one of my favorite years is 2002. I mean, the bodies of those cars were amazing,
Yep.
and I really do enjoy the 2000s stuff. But for me, my personal opinion, I really like the 80s and the 90s more. But then again, everyone has their own opinions, and they are allowed to have their own opinions.
Yeah.
So Have you had any like NASCAR like crew members or drivers or teams like even come here? You know?
Yeah, every time I run into someone, it's like, oh, I do data analyst for this guy. I designed the paint scheme for that guy. I did all. Yeah,
Wow.
everyone who comes here is a crew member or they're at the. Well, I mean, you get a lot of fans too, but that NASCAR tech school over there, that's like a steady stream of people who, they come here and they're still starry-eyed and they're like, oh, I love NASCAR and whatever, and then they're still buying stuff and then they're looking for a place to work or they're on a team and whatever. Yeah, I mean a lot of crew
That's
members,
great.
crew chiefs, not too many drivers yet. Well, I mean, I've met a few. I've met a few like lower series guys. The one that comes to mind, I met Raja Karuth. He's come here.
Raja.
Yeah, Raja. He's come here a few times. Um, Gosh, there was a development driver for that German Cup team that's trying to start up. You remember that one? The number 30 car?
Number 30. I'd have to look that up.
Okay,
I'll
well,
be
there's a new
honest.
Cup team they're trying to show up. They ran a late model race. That guy came in, and I think Todd Parrott, who was like the crew chief for Tail
Oh,
Chair.
Todd. I interviewed him
Mhm.
not that long ago. Raja,
Yeah.
you mentioned Raja. He's really nice.
Yeah, he's cool. I like when drivers are actually fans. It's like he is, or like they collect stuff or something. And I'm sure that some do. It's just kind of not, they're not making videos about their own collection like some of the guys on Instagram. But I always wonder like how many drivers in the field right now. If you walked up and asked them a trivia question like who won the first Daytona 500 or who finished 1-2 in the first Daytona 500, would they even be able to know? Like, would they be able to say, oh, well, yeah, I know this year. I wonder how they know their history. I know that's not a big
Exactly.
thing,
Yeah.
but I mean, they're professional drivers, so they got to focus on being a good driver instead of the history and stuff. But, yeah, it's stuff like that. But so I like when drivers are actual fans. That's one of my favorite things. So it's cool that he's, a collector. He's bought some stuff from me, and there's a few other guys who I've met and whatever, and I'm sure I'll meet a few more. And I know a few drivers, like big-time Cup drivers, come here and they buy stuff and they do whatever. And, of course, they've seen this a million times, so they're buying furniture for the house instead of buying their own diecast. But, no, it's cool. Yeah, I've met a few cool people in here.
Yeah, and I've never been here before, and I was going around. I was like, wow, they sell all sorts of stuff here. This is great. But thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I ain't doing nothing anyways any day, so. I mean,
you're doing a lot here with what you have, and I mean, this is a great collection you have and booth you have, and
Yep.
yeah, we'll see. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people coming here for just around the 600.
Yeah, I got a lot of people telling me they will, so hopefully they're not lying to me, but yeah. Yeah, I'm trying, and it's, gosh, there's a lot of stuff here. Last time I counted, there was this was a couple months ago, I counted every individually tagged piece, and it was up to 4,000. I think I'm at 5,000 now, different items all throughout. There's just a lot. There's people who have their big collections that's smaller than just what I have in the store, and then I got my own personal collection at home. But yeah, no, I got a lot here. It's a lot.
Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, there you go.
Make sure to go follow him on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. Well, that'll be on the screen in the description.
Yeah, Booth 34 Diecast. Yeah, at all the social medias, whatever. So.